It's Constable Samantha Wood, yes?
Yeah, that's right.
Right. The reason you're here is because I've been reporting harassment from number 6 for months. That had been going on all the way up to earlier on today.
Okay.
It's mainly
And
just...
you say you've reported that already?
Yeah, I've reported that several times.
Okay.
The least that they've done is that they've been throwing stuff at the wall next to me.
Okay. And the one directly here next to your bedroom?
Yeah, I'll demonstrate. So what she'll do is she'll throw something light. Something that she hopes the dictaphone won't pick up. Observe. That's what she does. Yeah? So she's been doing that. Also, I've been speaking to the police about her firing electronic weapons on me. Yeah? And the remote weaponry, the way it works is this. It works in the same way as Google. What happens is that she presses an app of some sort. That information goes to a satellite. The satellite comes onto my body parts. Now, on my person or inside my person, I actually have implants, and those implants have already been scanned. Okay? The reason why she's been harassing me like this and why the harassment has been going on for so long is because they actually need my dopamine levels to rise in order to cause some sort of psychotic episode. So she's been harassing me in a bid to deprive me of sleep, to elevate my stress levels, and to basically get me sequestered into hospital so that everybody who has been involved in my harassment and who has been involved in the corruption can escape justice. Now, what keeps happening is that when I keep talking about these crimes that are committed against me, the usual tactic is to defer to my mental health and to deflect it onto my mental health to say, oh, are you taking your medication? This, that, and the third. I actually stopped taking them a few months ago, right? My thing is this, right? When there was actual danger to life or limb, when I've actually tried to commit suicide in the past, there were no home treatment team showing up, no police showing up except for like late March in 2016 after that other suicide attempt, okay? Yeah? So when I had actually tried to commit suicide all of those other times, no home treatment team showed up, no mental health care showed up. The only time when mental health actually got involved was when I actually started complaining that neighbors were harassing me. Yeah? If I don't say anything about the harassment and I appear to be taking my medication, they'll leave me alone. If I am actively trying to harm myself and I complain about the weaponry, they leave me alone. But if they can see that I'm demonstrably getting better, evidently getting better, my mental health is improving, I'm taking care of myself, if they can see that and I'm talking about the electronic weapons, then it's a problem. Then I get home treatment team visits. Then I get the police talking about my mental health. Then I get everybody else denying what's going on and trying to make out like I'm causing problems. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. But what she's been doing to my body and what she's been attempting to do to my psyche is actually very serious. Like, this person is a dangerous psychopath. And it's just been a case where they've just let her run rampant and do whatever she wants. Samiria Gal.
Is that one word?
No.
Samira.
I'll write it down.
Just that one word. Come on, man.
Anyway,
yeah, sure.
Hold up, let me just rewind.
Do whatever she wants. Samiria Gal.
Is that one word?
No.
Samira.
I'll write it down.
Are you trying to...
Yeah, I'll write it down.
Anyway,
yeah, sure.
Can you write down your name and take it back to me?
Yeah, sure. This is a lot to take in, I really understand that. But your superiors should fill you in because they're quite familiar with me. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the home treatment team. Are they seeing you at the moment or not?
They've been attempting to further assess my mental health by coming over to my place and visiting my place, and as you can see, like, there's no problems. I've been looking after myself. myself.
Yeah, it's relatively clean and orderly.
Yeah, so basically, this is when they usually step up the assessments. It's not when I'm actually sick or when I'm actually... It's always in the middle when I'm telling the truth about the weaponry and the medications and the harm that they do.
It must be frustrating for you that they come when you feel like you don't need them, but when you are harming yourself, they're not coming.
It's not even that. It's just, it's evident that there's something deeper going on. I've been in the presence of other mentally ill people, and when they've harmed themselves or when they tried to kill themselves, they had the home treatment team come to see them. So why didn't I get that? Do you understand what I'm saying? And yet, when I'm relatively calm and of sound mind, and I clearly demonstrate that I don't need the medications anymore, and I'm able to clearly get evidence, because I've got evidence on my dictaphone, I think, let me just...
What were the medications for?
Yeah, hold on. Let me just... The medications are for psychosis, but the thing is, like I said before, if somebody's keeping you up at night to the point where you're not able to sleep, you're going to get psychosis anyway. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to use mental health to disprove the crimes that are going on against me, when actually, if they really wanted to go down that road, I'm not saying that they're right, but if they really wanted to go down that road, that would implicate police, that would implicate mental health, that would implicate Brent Mine, that would implicate all the neighbours here, because from what the evidence that I've got on this tape right here, she has been harassing me with neighbours present. Yeah? I'll give you an example. Yeah, hold on. I'll give you an example, right? One example. I've got a whole list here. Let me just...
Is there anyone in particular from the mental health team who you're in contact with?
Okay, I've got her number. I'll just give it to you in a second.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you want us to get in touch with her, or...?
I don't mind, either way.
Oh, okay.
It'll be on the Merlin report anyway, so word'll get back to her. Right. Recording 4.
You're very organised.
Got to be. Alright, so what I tend to do is I tend to record myself sort of like a dictaphone diary. And normally when I do these things or when I'm too calm, she'll literally shout out obscenities or insults or throw stuff at the wall like I just demonstrated, right? So this is just the start of the video and she's already starting. Listen.
Video, not videotape.
Oh no, that's not it.
Does she have any mental health?
Yes, she does. Oh no. Recording 3. I got that wrong. When I bring up the stuff that makes a difference, such as me being black, my open sexuality, my womanhood, my mental vulnerabilities or emotional instabilities or anything like that. Right, so
You heard a little bit of squeaking in the background, didn't you? You heard, ah, that was her saying I'm a whore. Yeah? So even when I was playing it on another dictaphone, like even second hand through another dictaphone, you could still hear this dumb bitch. Okay? And she did that downstairs whilst there were witnesses present. The witnesses are on the recording. You can't hear too much of the witnesses, but you can hear her. Dumb. Fucking dumb. And this woman's acting like she can't hear it either. Do you see what I'm saying? If this dictaphone can pick it up, then that woman can definitely hear it. This is what the police do. They pretend they can't hear anything so that they can make out like your evidence is insubstantial or whatever. This is what they do all the time.
You can faintly hear, if you hold your dictaphone real close to your ear, you can hear her calling me a whore from downstairs, whilst there are witnesses downstairs attempting to stop her from doing it. So I'm going to play it for you again, and I'm going to listen to it again. It's not even 30 seconds in. My open sexuality, my womanhood, my mental vulnerabilities or emotional instabilities or anything like that.
I got to fast forward because can't expose nobody's.
Nobody's going through a mess. These things up, and these
Hang on a sec.
deteriorate. I'm saying, if it really is about it, I'm being. Let me just see.
But you're feeling okay at the moment?
I'm taking care of myself. I'm as okay as I can be, considering the fact that I'm being harassed. I've been harassed for months, and nobody's done anything about it. So that's what I'm saying. If it really is a mental health issue, if I'm going through a mental health issue, you have to think back, who have I had most contact with? My neighbours, Brent Mind, Brent Mental Health. So if my mental health is really deteriorating and I'm making these things up, and I'm making these things up as a result of trauma, then at some point they're going to have to take responsibility for that destabilisation of mental health, because the only time that they've been taking me in is when I've been relatively calm and of sound mind talking about these crimes. They haven't taken me in when it's something serious. They haven't taken me in when I've decided not to say anything. They only take me in when I decide to say something and I demonstrate that I know what I'm talking about. That's when they decide to pull this nonsense.
Do you have any family nearby?
Oh yeah. I don't know.
Are they supportive?
Oh yeah, of course.
That's good.
As much as they can be. Her number, okay.
Got to fast forward that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And number?
It is
Shit.
going down in order to
Hang on.
mental health. Just be aware that this mental health route that they're going down in order to downplay the harassment, for me, it's very, very damning evidence against the people who are supposed to be looking after me. And for that matter, supposed to be looking after Samira, because she's also got mental health issues. Okay? So the fact that this harassment has been going on, they have allowed her to spiral downwards. She's not getting any sleep. I know that. I'm the only one in this house getting any sleep.
Is there like live-in staff or anyone? Yeah.
Huh?
Is there any live-in staff?
No. Nothing like that. But I'm the only one in this place that I know that is getting any sleep. Nobody else is getting any sleep. She's not getting any sleep, which is why her harassment has stepped up.
Do you want me to have a word with her?
Okay. Well, that's what was supposed to be done to begin with. That was supposed to be done weeks ago.
I'll go and knock on her door, and if she answers, I'll speak to her about it.
Yeah, sure, okay. Alright, well, thank you for coming over. I know I've thrown you in the deep end. I really apologise for that.
Not a problem, you're very articulate.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Alright.
Have a nice evening.
You too. I'll see you out.
Oh, are you doing things tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah, big family.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, very nice. Alright. Thank you very much. Okay. It is the same.
Okay, that's the end of that. Well, do I need to say anything more? I think that speaks for itself. Yeah, the police came over. I don't think they knocked on Samira's door, and if they did, I didn't hear it. But ultimately, it doesn't matter, because the thing is, what they're never prepared for is for one of these mentally ill people to start talking. Now, for me, right, the fact that the only time that mental health will actually step in is when I'm relatively calm and I'm talking about the crimes against me, that reveals to me that they're not getting me on the drugs. That would reveal to anybody that they're not getting me on the drugs for my mental health. They're getting me on the drugs for money. Yeah? So even if you didn't believe any of the so-called conspiracy theories that I was coming out with, you'd have to acknowledge that there was at least something wrong. How the fuck do you let somebody try to kill themselves multiple times, and you don't have the home treatment team around here? You only have a police officer here when you want to make them look bad. But you know, you do basically nothing when the person tries to kill themselves. And yet, when I demonstrate that I'm actually able to take care of myself by myself, that's when they decide to show up, and that's when assessment teams come up. That's when all this foolishness starts. It demonstrates that they're after money. They're doing this for the money. They're engaging in an open air Holocaust. You can't deny the truth anymore. And with this Tory government fucking in power, I mean, all pretense is going to be dropped and it's just going to get worse. You understand? You're just going to have lines of people on the street on pills. You understand what I'm saying? And then they're getting paid off for all of that. So hang tight. It's going to be a rough year coming. 2020 is going to be a pivotal year. Trust me.